Hey fourth graders, it's Mrs. Cruz, and today I'm going to teach you how to finish up your harvest corn that you've been working on. So last week you should have finished up creating all the kernels on your corn. I just did 2 rows on mine. Yours will be filled up from the top all the way to the bottom. Remember that I want you to have at least one example of pattern in your corn. So the top here, it is a repeating pattern of red, yellow, or you could do a pattern of different shapes. So the next row here is acorn, pumpkin, acorn, pumpkin. So just make sure that you have at least one example of pattern in your kernels. After you are finished with that, you are going to work on making the husk, the part that's going to be attached to the top of your ear of corn. Now, like the banners that we have hung up around the school, you will have probably noticed the backgrounds of those are all cool colors. But since we are not in school and we don't have access to getting the big background paper, I'm going to let you choose whether you want to do warm, cool colors, or both on the husk. Since this is all warm colors, this could be warm and cool together, or you can choose to do just cool or just warm. So this is going to give you a little more freedom. But what I would like you to do is make sure that you're using lots of example of different texture in your corn husk. And you can do this by using lots of different kinds of line or finding a surface around your house, like the floor or a wooden table, to pick up the texture that is in the floor or the table or just something around your house. So I think I will start out by showing you an example of texture around the house. The best way to pick up texture is to use an oil pastel or a crayon. So if you don't have oil pastels, not a problem, you can just use a crayon. And I'm going to look down here on my floor. And I have some nice texture on the floor that I'm going to pick up by using an oil pastel and rubbing on the side of the crayon. If you look in different rooms of your house, you'll probably find that you have different kinds of flooring. Maybe you have some wood flooring in your house. That would leave a cool texture. So just go exploring around your house and see what examples of texture you can find. Okay. Then another thing we can do if we don't have texture to pick up by rubbing is we can use different kinds of lines to create texture or movement. So I think now I will use kind of a golden orange. And I'm going to make a plaid design, which is lines straight down. And then I'm going to do lines across. So kind of just like when we were making the grid for our kernels of corn. But it's going to make a plaid design. Then I could use another color and go right next to the lines I just made. So now I have 2 different colors in my design. Or you can keep continuing on the wavy pattern in each of the husks. So just keep continuing that wave. If you have oil pastels, it's really easy to blend by just using your finger and smudging them. If you have a crayon, it won't really smudge as well. But that's okay, it'll still look just fine if you use a crayon. Or maybe at your house you have markers. You can definitely use markers. Could do zigzag lines. And you'll probably notice so far I've only used warm colors. You don't have to do that. You can use some cool colors if you want to. So maybe if you want to incorporate some cool colors, you could do a green and kind of mix it in with some of the brown you did. So I'm giving you a lot of freedom with this. You can be as creative as you would like. You might even make some designs and really surprise yourself at how much you like them. Okay, so then after you get this all filled up the way you would like it, you can use this pair of scissors and cut on the black line, just on the outside of the shape. You don't want to cut down through the middle of it, just the outside of it. And then we will attach that on to our ear of corn. If for some reason you didn't get this corn husk template, I can show you an easy way to make a corn husk. And here's all you have to do. Here's my permanent marker. If you don't have one, that's fine. You can use a pencil, whatever you have available to you. So you only need to do this if for some reason in your art materials that you picked up, you did not get one of these. So all you do is make a wavy line down and continue that wavy line down. Go up to the top, wavy line. Up to the top, and a wavy line that connects down to the lines you already made. And yours does not have to look exactly like mine. There's no two corn husks that are going to be identical. Plus, it makes it more interesting if yours looks a little different than mine. So there you have it. Maybe you want to make one of these for a family member that you're going to see over Thanksgiving. Now you know how to draw your own corn husk. And then I'll just show you here quickly how to cut them out. Take your time, don't get sloppy or you might end up cutting into your shape. Okay. Another thing maybe you want to do is somewhere in your artwork you could write your signature, which is just a fancy way of signing your name, kind of like your autograph, with whatever coloring material you have available to you. So maybe you kind of want to camouflage it in here. Voila. So now I have my husk cut out and my ear of corn, and I can easily attach them together by just using a piece of tape. So here's what the back looks like. Just overlap them a little bit, put a piece of tape on there. And I'll back up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. And now you have this awesome ear of corn to display at your Thanksgiving this year, even if it's just you and the people that live in your house, or if you're going to have the whole family over, whatever. But everyone will enjoy having a nice piece of art displayed. So happy art baking. Message me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you. Have a good day.